If there's anything in your life that you are currently struggling to overcome, watch the slide and listen to Susie's pep talk. This is the first segment of the 22nd episode of the second season of Rugrats, and Chuckie is suddenly scared to go down the regular slide at the park because of an experience he had with a big kid slide in a soft play area. And I have to say, I love how it was designed. He and his father were at this pizza restaurant that had a children's soft play area and ball pit, and it was very fun, very, very well animated. Really enjoyed that a lot more than Chuckie did. And Tommy, Phil, and Lil aren't sure how to get Chuckie to continue going down his favourite slide at the park, so they go to Susie. And this is the first time we've had Susie since she was introduced, so it's nice to have her in an episode where it's not just about her moving in. And she gives a pretty great speech and kind of exercises a kind of exposure therapy to build up Chuckie's experiences so that he's ready to face the real thing. But of course he has this kind of PTSD from the big kid slide, and it's unclear whether or not he'll be able to succeed with it, particularly if Angelica is the anti-Susie and saying everything wrong, saying that he'll never do it, he'll never overcome it, he'll be a scaredy cat forever. And we actually get an interaction between Angelica and Susie, which went down exactly as I expected. They basically just screamed cat and dog at each other for a while, and I thought it worked very, very well. Really enjoying seeing those two interacting a lot more. I won't say what happens with this episode or ultimately what Chuckie did. Actually, I will with a spoiler warning because I want to discuss something he said. But I do think that no matter what situation you're in, if like Chuckie, there is something that you want to do because he wants to go down the slide, he's just something in him freezes every time he tries and he begins to panic and fight or flight kicks in, and maybe even fight, flight, or freeze. And if you're in that situation, it might actually make you feel, well, if Chuckie's prepared to try and to be put through this exposure therapy, then maybe I too can have a go at this thing that I want to do that I'm scared of. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a very good episode. I think it's one that a lot of children will be able to relate to, not necessarily because they've had a traumatic experience with a big kid slide, but because there might be something they want to do in the playground, and certain things in the playground can be quite scary. Things like the roundabout. I hate roundabouts. Anything that spins, I just makes me feel sick. Or the monkey bars. I could never do the monkey bars because I was always scared I'd fall, but I always wanted to. It looked like great fun. So definitely one that I think is very beneficial. So a spoiler from now, I'm just going to discuss what Chuckie said at the end. So this obviously spoils whether or not he was successful. And at the end of the episode, obviously he managed to do it. It would be a pretty lousy episode if he didn't. And when the babies asked him how he did it, he kind of said something that's both really helpful and not very helpful. And he said, "I just did it." Which on the one hand is really helpful because sometimes that's literally it. All you have to do is do it. And you just have to stop thinking about it. And that can be really useful. If you overthink things and overanalyze things, the anxiety can build up. But if you don't allow yourself to think about it, it can be easier. But at the same time, if it's so bad, you can't just do it. Because the fight, flight, or freeze kicks in and you have to do something to overcome that. So it's not necessarily a case of just doing it. So on the one hand, I thought that was great advice. At the same time, I thought it was really unhelpful. But hopefully for young children watching it, where it's not, a deep-rooted psychological issue and it is just a small child's fear about something that's actually not that dangerous or scary, hopefully the just doing it mentality will actually be really beneficial. But I liked it. I like Chuckie as a character. Anything that focuses on him and provides inspiration for the viewer is definitely good. The Slide's not a bad episode at all.